From this video, I'm going to be reading John chapter 10, verses 11 and following in Greek with translation into English, a grammatical analysis, and then in Hebrew, following the Hebrew translation of diglot, along with grammar analysis of the Hebrew also. And then a brief comments as we go through. I've called this a diglot reading, and we've been going through this great text. And so we pick it up in verse 11. Ego emi ha poimen ha kalas, ha poimen ha kalas, tem psuchen autu, tithesin huper ton brabaton. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life on behalf of the sheep. Ego is your personal pronoun. Emi is your present indicative active, first person singular. I am ha poimen ha kalas, the good shepherd. Notice two articles here showing the attributive use of the adjective kalas. And so we would render it, I am the shepherd, the good, meaning the good shepherd. Ha poimen ha kalas, the good shepherd, tem psuchen autu is emphatic here, the soul of him, or the life of him. Here we have a feminine noun, accusative singular from psuche, the life of him. Autu is the personal pronoun, genitive singular from autas, third person personal pronoun, who lays down his life. Tithesin, your present indicative, third person plural from tithemi, who lays down his life, huper ton brabaton, on behalf of the sheep. Huper is a preposition. It takes the genitive plural in ton brabaton, which is your genitive plural of sheep. So he lays down his life on behalf of the sheep. Looking at the Hebrew in this diglot reading, the Hebrew reads, Anochi hu haro'eh hatov, haro'eh hatov yetain et nafsho ba'ad sono. I am he, the one who, the good shepherd, who shepherds, the good shepherd. The good shepherd then who gives his life on behalf of his sheep. So here we have Anochi, the first person personal pronoun I. Sometimes it's Ani. Here it was translated Anochi. I am he who, making it emphatic, third person personal pronoun. I am he, the one who shepherds, the good, that is the good shepherd, the one who is the good shepherd. Notice ha is the definite article. Ro'eh is from ra'ah, to shepherd, and it's a cal participle, masculine singular from ra'ah, the one who shepherds, the good, or the good shepherd. Ha is your definite article in both places here, and tov is your adjective meaning good. I am the good shepherd, the good shepherd. Ha ro'eh, again the definite article followed by the cal participle masculine singular, and ha tov, the adjective again, the good shepherd will give or gives, yatain from the root natan. It's a pay noon verb, And notice the noon has historically assimilated into the top. So yin tang becoming yit tang with the doggish forte in the top, showing progressive assimilation of the noon into the top. So the Good Shepherd gives his life. Et is the sign of the direct object, and nafsho is from nephesh. And here, in construct with o, it becomes nafsh. So nafsh sho. And o is your pronominal suffix, third masculine singular. So nephesh becoming nafsh in construct with o. And that's the direct object of the verb yatain, who gives his life, ba'ad sono, on behalf of the preposition here, ba'ad. Sono means sheep. Son and o is your pronominal suffix, third masculine singular, who gives his life on behalf of the sheep. And what Jesus is saying is, I'm willing to die on behalf of the sheep. He's looking at his crucifixion. Predictively, he knows the future because he is God in the second person of the Blessed Trinity in New Testament teaching. And John is recording this. So the one who gives his life anticipating predictably his cross work. And John, I believe, is recording this. So we go to verse 12. Ha misthotas kai uk on poimen, hu uk estin ta brabata idia, theore tan lucan erkamenon, kai apheesin ta brabata kai fuge, kai ha lucas arpatse alta kai scorpidze. The hireling and the one not being the shepherd, of whom the sheep are not his own. He sees or beholds the wolf coming, and he leaves the sheep and flees. And so the wolf snatches them and scatters them. Ha misthotas, we have the definite article, and misthotas is the hired hand or the hired one. So notice it reads, the hired one, and not being the shepherd. Kai uk on poimen. Poimen is the noun for shepherd again, and on is your present participle, active participle, nominative masculine singular from ami. We think of, if we were declining it, it would be on, antas, anti, and so forth. So this is your nominative masculine singular, and not being the shepherd, of whom, who is your relative pronoun, genitive masculine singular, like chas, hu, cho. So who is your genitive, of whom he is not, or the sheep are not his own. Notice estin again is from ami, your present indicative active, from of whom the sheep is not, they don't belong to him. Idioi means his very own. So he's hired, and of whom the sheep are not his own. Notice here, estin is from ami, a estin, present indicative active, third person singular. So of whom is not his own, the sheep. And ta brabata is the neuter plural from brabatan. And here we have have the definite article showing a neuter plural. And the sheep are not his own. So he sees or he beholds. Theore is from theoreo, which means to see or to behold. Present indicative active third person singular from theoreo. So he is seeing or beholding the wolf coming. Tan lukan is your accusative singular. Notice the definite article and lukan. So he is beholding the wolf erkamenon coming. Erkamenon is from erkamai. It is your present middle participle accusative singular from erkamai. So he sees the wolf coming and he leaves the sheep. Kai afit a scene from afit a me. Again, your present indicative active third person singular. So he leaves the sheep, ta brabatan, the accusative plural, a neuter accusative plural. He leaves the sheep and he flees. Fuge is your present indicative active third person singular from fugo and flees. Kai is your conjunction, and the wolf, ha lukas, ha is a definite article, nominative masculine singular, and so is lukas. The wolf, harpadze, snatches them. Harpadze is your present indicative active third person singular from harpadzo, snatches them, and alta is the neuter plural, accusative plural from altas. Altas, alte, altan. The plural is alta, third person. So then a personal pronoun snatches them and scatters them. Kai is your conjunction followed by scorpidze, your present indicative active third person singular from scorpidze. If you think about luo, lues, lue, and here this epsilon iota is showing a third person singular. Now let me go to the Hebrew for just a moment of verse 12. V'hasachir asher lo ro'ehu v'hatzon lo hene bir'oto kiva hazaev ya'azov et hatzon v'nas v'hazaev ya'atov v'yafitz et hatzon. So as we continue the interpretation of verse 12, notice now the hireling. The word sahir means hireling, and ve is just your conjunction. Ha is the definite article in Hebrew. The hireling, sahir, is the noun meaning hireling. So the hireling, the one that's hired, asher lo ro'eh, who is not the one who is shepherding. Notice asher is your relative pronoun. Lo ro'eh, lo is the negative particle not. Ro'eh is your cow participle masculine singular from ra'ah. So the one who is not the shepherd, that he who is just your personal pronoun, third masculine singular. The hatzon lo, and the sheep do not belong to him. Notice ve is just your conjunction. Ha is the personal pronoun. Son is the word for sheep. Historically, the article would have been how sown, where the lamed of the historical article by progressive assimilation had gone into the tsate. That's why we have the doubling in the tsate. So the sheep that who are not to him, literally, lo. Uh, in other words, lo is just your negative particle, and lo is your third person singular pronominal suffix with the inseparable lamed before it, who, the preposition, who are not to him, behold, hena bir oto, when he sees that the wolf is coming. Notice bir oto is from ra'ah, to see. This is a lamed hey verb, where the bait is the preposition that goes on to this. This is an infinitive construct. We think of ra'ah as the root, and it becomes re'ot in the infinitive construct, and o is your pronominal suffix, third masculine singular. And when he sees that, ki is just your conjunction, ki va ha za'ev, that the wolf is coming. Va, I'm understanding here as a participle from bo, as a cow participle, masculine singular from bo. So when he sees ha za'ev, the wolf, ha is the definite article, za'ev, the noun meaning wolf, ya azov, then he leaves the sheep. Ya azov is from the root azav. It's the cow imperfect, third masculine singular from azav. So he leaves et hazon, the sheep. Et is the sign of the direct object. Ha is the article meaning the, and son is sheep. So he leaves the sheep, venas, and he flees. Another participle from nos, to flee. You have your conjunction in the verb here, and nos is your cow participle, masculine singular, and flees, v'haza'ev ya'atov, and the wolf snatches, another cow imperfect, third masculine singular from ataf. So the wolf snatches and scatters, veyafitz, causes to scatter. I'm understanding this as a hiphil imperfect, third masculine singular from the root to scatter, and causes to scatter et hazon, the sheep, et being the sign of the direct object. So let me stop here, and what I'm trying to do is basically teach grammar as well as translating the Hebrew and the Greek, or the Greek. I see Hebrew to be very important because that would have been the language I believe that Jesus would have spoken. And so I'm going back to that. Plus, it helps me to keep my grammar alive, my Greek and Hebrew, which was basically my training in my doctorate of theology and my PhD work. So in retirement, I want to keep it alive. And plus, to me, reading the Gospels is one of the most important things at this point in life, to meditate on Christ and to worship him. And the best place are the Gospels. And so as we think of the coming of Christmas, it's wonderful to know that Jesus is our good shepherd in terms of what the New Testament teaches. Let me just stop here And we hope this will be helpful to people. Thank you all for listening. I notice Evan and Nicole have listened in. Thank you for listening. And if there's others that would have an interest, we hope this will help maybe inspire some to work at their Greek and at their Hebrew. I would encourage you to get a good deductive grammar of Hebrew and Greek and work with it along with our inductive work. I would suggest Machen in New Testament Greek grammar, and then I would suggest Weingreen in the Hebrew. I was trained in Machen, and then also Weingreen is what I used in a lot of my teaching of my former students. I like Weingreen's grammar. It's a very, both are what I would call classical deductive grammars. And hopefully, then combine that with the inductive work of applying what one learns by reading these things. So, again, thank you all for listening in. My wife Janet and I wish you all a blessed coming Christmas season. God bless.